Stephen D'Souza starts off our coverage tonight. Stephen.
Susan, this is what had been predicted for days, but even the most dire warnings couldn't prepare people here for the amount of rain that's fallen in the last 24 hours. This is what it looks like when you get half a year's worth of rain in less than a day. Entire neighborhoods practically submerged. Despite warnings of catastrophic flooding, many were caught in it anyway.
All I heard was screaming and beating, and when I opened it, more water just rushed in. And they're like, you gotta get out, you gotta get out. And I was really asleep, like I was asleep, and I wouldn't have knew.
Thousands had to be rescued, some through windows, others by boat, as neighbors, the Coast Guard, anyone who could help, banded together to save those in need.
He had a boat, and he was going up and down the streets, picking up everybody. So.
And tell us about your house. Describe your house. Was it full of water? Where were you guys? How did you?
We have a 2-story home, and on the first floor, it's up to here.
Overwhelmed emergency responders were forced to triage tens of thousands of calls, taking care of only those who needed help urgently.
I know people are trying to reach 911, may not be getting a response. I understand that. The system, there are a lot of people who are calling, but let me ask, let's give preference to the life-threatening calls.
Floods quickly devoured roads, turned highways into rivers, leaving them impassable and trapping unsuspecting motorists.
The currents were pulling us back, and we jumped on an ice machine and floated to them and got off and tried to help them, but we noticed the current was too strong, so we all held hands and held onto a pole, and we found another guy threw a rope, and we pulled each other with a rope across.
These deputies, they weren't on their way here.
In another amazing scene, a local news crew flagged down police who were able to rescue a driver stuck in his rig.
Thank God that you guys was right here to get me, put me back on land safe. I appreciate it.
In this coastal town, houses were submerged block after block. Another news crew helped rescue an elderly couple and their daughter. Some chose to wade through the water to get much-needed supplies.
What did you go across to get?
Diapers, anything that's necessary right now. In the storm, you can prepare, but after so much time, you run out of stuff and you need to go get more.
Downtown, the convention center was turned into a shelter. Erica Harris checked in with her 5 children. She carried each one across a flooded street and rushing water to get to safety.
How are you feeling? How did that feel for you?
It wasn't no feeling. It was just get it done.
Many here were unprepared for the force of the storm.
I was kind of prepared, but it wasn't a mandatory evacuation, so I wasn't that worried.
Now questions are being asked about why that didn't happen. Officials say emptying a city of this size with no clear path to safety wasn't feasible.
Just think if we had massively said, let's start evacuating from Corpus to Galveston, then Victoria, and then us. So they thought that the area was so large, how can you evacuate?
Today, officials announced that 3,000 National Guard troops are being brought in to help deal with this catastrophe and what's still to come. Susan.
Stephen, how is President Trump responding to Texas tonight?
Well, he was on Twitter today praising local officials and agencies for their cooperation and their work. And today, the White House announced that Donald Trump will be coming here to Texas on Tuesday. Susan?
All right. Thanks, Stephen. Stephen D'Souza in Houston in the water tonight.